Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see if I can find my page. Do you know what today is? Today is Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Another day of life. And for me, that means I have another day to get it right. I just took my placeholder out of my book, and I don't know what page it was on. Let me see. I do want to say that I woke up this morning a little bit sick. So I feel good though, but I will be sipping on some tea just to kind of help my throat a little bit. Okay, so we are on page 16. And we only have a few pages left to finish out chapter 1 of Dr. Wayne, The Power of Intention. Started the first chapter yesterday. I hope everyone's had a good Monday. And I'm sure that everybody would have a really great Tuesday. I know I'm going to have a good Tuesday. But yeah, I got some good sleep. I took a little medicine to help me get all the sleep and rest that I needed. I knew yesterday I was not feeling good. And lo and behold, woke up this morning with this sore throat. So yeah. Good morning, good morning. Today is Happy Tuesday. I will not keep you guys on here too long. I know yesterday my video was way longer than 30 minutes. And I know it's already a little after 4. It's 11 after. So this, just for those of you who have not watched my video yesterday, this is something that I do every single morning. Good morning, Sus. Good morning. This is something that I do every single day. It's a part of my miracle morning routine. I get up, well, my clock goes off at 3:45 every single morning. I've been doing this regimen for about 6 months now. I'd say about 6 months. And it entails of meditation. It entails of visualization, my affirmations, my exercise, my reading, and my scribing. And that's just writing in my journal. And if you do 10 minutes of that a day, you'll realize that you've taken the time out you've taken the time out to set your mind, get your mind right, to prepare you for the rest of your day. And so this is what I do. And this group, I'm sharing pretty much only my reading segment of what I do. So I've already done my light exercise. I don't do like a full-on exercise. I just did, some stretching. Like I said, I woke up this morning, I wasn't feeling too good. So just it entails some light stretching. And then as soon as I'm done with this live, I'll be going into my meditation, and so forth and so on. But I will go ahead and get started. We left off yesterday on page 16, again, of Dr. Wayne's The Power of Intention. And we only have about 2 pages left in this book, and we may even be able to start the second chapter before this live is over. So the subheading that we are going to start with this morning is called Combining Free Will with Intention. And I don't know, for those of you who did not see my live yesterday, we talked about a few of the points. Some of the subheadings here we talked about was the meaning of being omnipresent with intention, and how you come to experience yourself as how you came to experience yourself as disconnected from intention. We also talked about holding on to the trolley strap, and then the 4 steps of intention. So just to recap really quick, those 4 steps. The first one, and I won't go into all of it, I'll just mention what they were. The first one was discipline. The second one was wisdom. The third one is love. And the fourth one was surrender. So if you want to go back to the first video and kind of look at what we discussed yesterday, that would be great. And then the last point we talked about yesterday was intention and your free will are paradoxical. So let's go ahead and get started with finishing this first chapter. Because like I said, I wanted to do a chapter a day, but these chapters are not short. They're very long chapters. So yeah, I'm going to have to break these up 2 parts to complete a chapter. So here we go. Okay, so combining free will with intention. It says, in mathematics, 2 angels that are said to coincide fit together perfectly. The word coincidence does not describe luck or mistakes. It describes that which fits together perfectly. By combining free will with intention, you harmonize with the universal mind. Rather than operating in your own mind outside of this force called intention. Your goal may very well be, as you read this book, to work at being in harmony at all times with intention. When life appears to be working against you, when your luck is down, when the supposedly wrong people show up, or when you slip and return to old self-defeating habits, recognize these signs that you're out of harmony with your intention. You can and will reconnect in a way that will bring you into alignment with your purpose. For example, when I write, I open myself to the possibilities of universal spirit and my own individual thoughts collaborating with fate to produce a helpful, insightful book. Not book. Oh, actually, he did say book. So insightful book. But as I reconsidered my account of leaving alcohol behind me, I wanted another example to put in the chapter of how intention collaborates with life circumstances to produce what we need. Recently, my 19-year-old daughter, Summer, told me that she'd quit her temporary job as a restaurant hostess and wasn't sure what she wanted to do before resuming her college studies. I asked her what made her feel most purposeful and happy, and she said it was teaching horseback riding to young children, but she refused to return to the old barn where she'd worked a year before because she felt unappreciated, overworked, and underpaid. I was in Maui writing this first chapter on a new perspective of intention when we had this telephone conversation. I launched into my intention as a force in the universe, spiral, and told my daughter that she needed to realign her thoughts, and so on. Open up to receiving the assistance you desire, I told her. Trust in intention. It exists for you. Stay alert. Be willing to accept any guidance that comes your way. Stay in vibrational harmony with all providing source. The next day, at that very moment, I was searching for the additional example of intention to put into this chapter. And then the telephone rang. It was Summer, bubbling with enthusiasm. You're not going to believe this, Dad. On second thought, I'm sure you'll believe it. Remember yesterday how you told me to open up to intention. I was skeptical, even thinking, that's my weird dad, but I decided to try it. Then I saw a sign on a telephone pole that said horseback riding lessons. And there was a telephone number. I wrote the number down and called it. The woman who answered told me she needed to hire someone she could trust to do all the trail rides with young kids. She pays exactly double what I was making at the restaurant. I'm going to see her tomorrow. Isn't that cool? Cool. Hell yes, it's cool. Here I'm writing a book, looking for good examples, and it arrives in the form of help I was attempting to offer the day before to my daughter. 2 for the price of 1. So the second subheading is merging your individual thoughts with your universal mind. Our individual thoughts create a prototype in the universal mind of intention. You and your power of intention are not separate. So, when you form a thought within you that's commensurate with spirit, you from a spiritual prototype that connects you to intention and sets into motion the manifestation of your desires. Whatever you wish to accomplish is an existing fact already present in spirit. Eliminate from your mind thoughts of conditions, limitations, or the possibility of it not manifesting. So a lot of times we know what we want to manifest, or we're trying to manifest something, but we don't see it happening. And this is going to explain why. Whatever you wish to accomplish, I'm going to just say this over. Whatever you wish to accomplish is an existing fact, already present in spirit. Eliminate from your mind thoughts and conditions, limitations, or the possibility of it not manifesting. If left undisturbed in your mind and in the mind of intention simultaneously, it will germinate into reality in the physical world. So in simpler words, all things whatsoever ye pray and ask for, believe. And so we pray and we ask God for things, or we ask for help and guidance. And then we're supposed to just leave it alone. We're not supposed to just keep praying for the same thing over and over. We need to believe that what we're praying for will indeed come into fruition. In this spiritual quotation found in Mark 11:24, you are told to believe that your desire has already been fulfilled, and then it will be accomplished. Know that your thought of prayer is already here. Remove all doubt so that you create a harmonious thought with the universal mind or intention. When you know this beyond doubt, it will be realized in the future. This is the power of intention at work. I'll close this section with the words from Aldous Huxley, one of my favorite authors. The spiritual journey does not consist of arriving at a new destination where a person gains what he did not have or become what he is not. It consists in the dissipation of one's own ignorance concerning oneself and life, and the gradual growth of that understanding, which begins the spiritual awakening. The finding of God is a coming to oneself. In this first chapter, I've asked you to stop doubting the existence of a universal, omnipresent force. I've called intention and told you that you can link to and be carried to your destination on the energy of intention. Here are my suggestions to work in your life. So he lays out 5 suggestions here. I'm going to take a sip of some tea here because my throat is not happy this morning. So these 5 suggestions. So number 1, whenever you feel out of sorts, lost, or even in a sour mood, visualize the trolley strap hanging down from the field of intention 3 or 4 feet above your head. And this trolley strap was talked about in the first half of this chapter that we did yesterday. Imagine it floating up and allowing the trolley strap to carry you to build your intention. This is a tool for implementing surrender in your life. Number 2, say the word intent or intention repeatedly when you are in a state of anxiety or when everything around you seems to have conspired to keep you from your mission. This is a reminder to be peaceful and calm. Intention is spirit, and spirit is silently blissful. Number 3, tell yourself that you have a life mission and a silent partner who's accessible at any moment you choose. So when ego defines you by what you have or do or compares you to others, use your power of free will to terminate those thoughts. Say to yourself, I'm here on purpose. I can accomplish anything I desire. I do it by being in harmony with all pervading creative forces in the universe. This will become an automatic way of responding to life, synchronicities, and then results will begin to happen. Number 4, act as if anything you desire is already here. Believe that all that you seek, you've already received, that it exists in spirit. And know you shall have your desires fulfilled. One of my 10 secrets for success and inner peace is to treat yourself as if you already are what you'd like to become. Number 5, copy this ancient Hasidic saying, carry it with you for a year. It's a reminder of the power of intention and how it can work for you every day in every way. When you walk across the field with your mind pure and holy, then form all the stones and all growing things and all animals, the sparks of their soul come out and cling to you, and then they are purified and become a holy fire in you. In the next chapter, I describe how this field of intention might look where you are able to see it, and what the faces of intention look like. I'll close this chapter with major quotation from Carlos Castaneda's teacher, Don Juan Matus. The spirit reveals itself to everyone with the same intensity and consistency, but only warriors are constantly attuned to such revelations. Readers and warriors alike proceed in the spirit of free will to access the power of intention. So that was the closing of the first chapter, entitled The Essentials of Intention. And let me check timing. Okay, we have just a few more minutes. I don't want to keep you guys too long on here, but I do want to get started on chapter 2, because I know these chapters are really, really long. So chapter 2 is titled The 7 Faces of Intention. So we'll just kind of keep it moving here. Yesterday, while writing this book here in Maui, I experienced a knowing that I'll attempt to explain to you. A woman from Japan was pulled from the surf, her body bloated from an excessive intake of seawater. I knelt over her with others attempting to get her heart beating going with CPR, while many of her friends from Japan cried out in anguish as the futile attempts at rescutation proceeded. Suddenly, I felt a quiet awareness of this woman's spirit hovering over a life-saving attempt. As I watched the rescue scene on the beach, I felt the presence of blissful peacefulness energy, and in some unfathomable way, I knew that she wasn't going to be revived, and that she was no longer connected to the body, that so many well-meaning people, including myself, were trying to bring her back to life. This quiet knowing led me to stand up, put my hands together, and say a silent prayer for her. We were from different parts of this world and didn't even share a common language, yet I felt connected to her. I felt peaceful with a knowing that her spirit and mine were somehow connected in the mystery of a transcendent, ephemeral nature of our physical lives. As I walked away, the pain of death wasn't dominating my thoughts. Instead, I knew and felt that the departure of this woman's spirit from what was now lifeless, bloating body and inexplicable all a part of perfect divine order. I couldn't prove it. I had no scientific evidence. I didn't think it. I knew it. This is an example of what I mean by silent knowledge. I still feel her presence as I write this 24 hours later. In Power of Silence, Carlos Castaneda describes silent knowledge as something that all of us have, but it cannot think, therefore it cannot speak of what it knows. Man has given up silent knowledge for the world of reason. The more he clings to the world of reason, the more ephemeral intent becomes. Since intention is being present in the book of, since let me start over. Since intention is being presented in this book as an invisible energy field that is inherent in all physical form, intention then is a part of the inexplicable, non-material world of spirit. Spirit eludes our attempts to explain and define it because it's a dimension beyond beginning and ends, beyond boundaries and beyond symbols and beyond form itself. Consequently, written and spoken words, our symbol for communicating our experiences in this world, can really explain spirit the way they do the physical world. I agree with Voltaire's statement at the beginning of this chapter and readily admit that I can definitely teach anyone that spirit is our use word that gives a precise picture of what it looks like. What I can do is describe a way that I capsulize intention if it were somehow possible to remove the veil that keeps the field of intention from our sensory, perception, and reasoning mind. I'll give you my concept of what I refer to as the 7 faces of intention. These points represent my imagined picture of what the power of intention looks like. I'm going to stop here, you guys. We have already finished our 30 minutes. I know I have a long day ahead of me, and I'm sure that you all too. But I'm very thankful that you have decided to join me this morning in my morning routine, the miracle morning, or I would call it my power hour. It's my time to myself that's going to set me up for the rest of the day to be successful. So I thank you for watching. Let me see. I slept all night. I took some medicine. I wasn't prepared for any additional quotes or words, but I thank you. Please continue to come with me every morning, 4 a.m. I'm here. I'm doing my morning meditation. Again, Hal Elrod, if you don't know who he is, look him up. It's called The Miracle Morning. I came across an interview that he had did. I found him on YouTube while I was listening to other YouTube videos. And his life story is amazing. And he talks about this miracle morning, these practices that he was doing to help save his own life. And so his information is extremely valuable and has helped millions of people all over the world, including myself. So since then, I have taken up reading. I was never a reader. I never liked books. I mean, I like books, but I didn't like books. I like books I could look at the pictures. But it's been about 6 months now. I'm on my 3rd book, and I'm hoping by the end of the month we will be able to start our 4th book, which will be by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. So thank you so much. I wish you well. Have a beautiful day. Today is Happy Tuesday. Positive thoughts. The power of intention is so strong. So have a great morning and a great rest of your day. Thank you. See you tomorrow.